Hello everybody, my name is Colin29. Welcome back to another video. Today in this one is going to be my complete in-depth guide on the new archetype K9 that's coming out in Justice Hunters later next week. Yeah, as you can see, the video is super long. It's about an hour and 45 minutes long, just going over a lot of details about K9. At the beginning of the videos, I do a card analysis. This is meant for players who don't know what the cards do, but want to know what the cards do. So this is me going over their effects, trying to explain what they're doing and how they can go together. So that's the beginning of the video. And then after that, we'll go over a pure deck list of K9 with some combos as well. And then after that, we'll go over some deck lists that can splash K9, things like Vanquish, Crystron, and Dracotail is what we talk about in this video. And I'll show off combos using those deck lists as well. Now, since it is a longer video, I do have some timestamps in the bottom, in the description down below to help you try to find the exact part you're trying to look for and trying to get more learning of it. So please utilize that in the description as well. So yeah, this is the first time I'm doing a video like this, a complete guide of this. So please let me know down in the comments down below how I can improve this in the future. So I'll probably do one for Yummy and Dracotail in the future as well. So please let me know how I can improve this. If you do consider this helpful, please leave a like on the video. And then if you consider, or if you do like the content on the channel as well, please consider subscribing. We are super close to 1,000. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Alrighty, now on to the card analysis portion of the video here. Again, if you already know what the cards do, there are timestamps in the description down below to help you skip towards like more of the deck list and like theory kind of talking if you want more of that. But this, if you don't know what the cards can do, this is to help you, we'll read over the cards and help you try to understand what the cards do. So they have 4 main deck monsters, 3 spells, 1 trap, and then 3 XYZ monsters. We'll start off with K9 Yugioh is his name. So all of them have the same summoning condition except for Lupus, where if your opponent controls 2 or more cards in your hand, you can just normal summon this card without tribute. So Yugioh, Lantern, and Azuna all have that effect. Lupus is the only one that does not have that effect. So just consider that in mind. All 3 of them, of these cards, can normal summon themselves if your opponent controls 2 or more cards in their hand. So that's its first effect here, is just how to summon itself. And then you can only use each of the following effects once per turn. You can reveal this card and one level 5 and one other level 5 monster in your hand. Special summon both, but they cannot be used as material for an XYZ summon of a light monster. And then during your main phase, you can add one non-Aqua K9 monster from your deck to your hand. So Yugioh can not only normal summon itself without tributing, but it can also special summon itself by revealing a level 5 another level 5 monster in your hand, specialing both cards out to the field, which also helps you get into like a rank 5 play straight away as well. And then during the main phase, its on-field effect can just search for a non-Aqua K9 monster, meaning you can search for either Lantern, Azuna, or Lupus, depending on what what your hand is and stuff like that. This is probably one of the better starters in the deck, again, because it can get 2 level 5s out of your hand straight away, and then just helps set up a a rank 5 straight away, and it can also search for another K9 monster in the archetype as well. Now for K9 Lantern, again, the same summoning condition, where if your opponent controls 2 or more cards in their hand, it can just normal them summon itself without tributing, and it can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If this card's in your hand, you can target one non-Pyro level 5 K9 monster in your graveyard, special both this card and that card, but they cannot be used as material for an XYZ summon of a light monster. So you're kind of getting the same idea here, where they can both special summon themselves out to the field, but they can't be used as light or XYZ materials for light monsters. So you can use any other attribute, just not light monsters for the XYZ summon. And then during the main phase, it can also add a K9 spell trap from your deck to your hand. So it's a good reborn, so if you can just target if like Azuna, Lupus, or Yugioh's in the graveyard, you can target that, special this card from hand and that K9 monster from the graveyard, and then its on-field effect can add a K9 spell trap, meaning you can add any of these spell traps to your hand. So this is the kind of idea that something like Rizal has, where every card can kind of access every other card in the archetype. So kind of treat it like that as well. So, and it also sets up a rank 5 straight away as well, because it specials 2 level 5s at the same time, which helps you get to a rank 5 play as well. We have K9 Azuna in the archetype, so this is the good one. Like, a lot of people are getting the hype off Azuna here. So it has the same material or same requirement as Yugioh and Lantern, where it can normally summon itself with 2 more, or without tributing, if your opponent controls 2 or more monster or cards in their hand. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. During the main phase, if your opponent activated a monster effect in the hand or graveyard this turn, you can quick effect to special itself to the field. So it does have a special summon requirement, but your opponent has to play into it. So it doesn't necessarily special itself to the field, but it can. And then if this card is normal or special summon, you can send a K9 card from your deck to the graveyard, except for Azuna. So this card basically is probably, when it comes to the pure deck, it's probably a little bit worse, but it's getting a lot more hype because of this effect. During your main phase, your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand or graveyard this turn. Quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. So basically, in tandem with Lupus, which we're about to read in 1 second, can help you get to a rank 5 during your opponent's turn or your turn, depending on what happens. But it helps you get to a rank 5 if your opponent activates like a hand trap or something like that. So that's why Azuna is getting played, because this also can be played during your opponent's turn as well. So it's like a turn 0 kind of play as well. So again, it can dump any K9 cargo. It doesn't necessarily matter, but its main target will be K9 Lupus. If you don't know what Lupus does, it's during the main phase. If your opponent has activated a monster effect in the hand or graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. And then during your opponent's turn, you can quick effect immediately after this effect resolves. XYZ summon using this card you control. You can only use each of the previous effects once per turn. And then a monster that has this card as material gains this effect. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. So in tandem with Azuna, so let's say they, it's Malice, so they activate something in like the hand or graveyard. Not likely. Let's say they activate like March Hare or something like that in hand. You can go with Azuna effect to special itself since they activated something in hand. You can go effect on someone to dump Lupus. Lupus, since again something was already activated from the hand or graveyard, specials itself out to the field. You have 2 level 5 straight away, and then it's your opponent's turn. You can just immediately XYZ summon using its bottom effect to XYZ something any like rank 5. So like Jack or Ripper is like its archetype one, but there's other rank 5s you can make as well. And that XYZ monster can't be targeted as well, which is very good as well. So these are like the in tandem cards. These are the 2 cards you'll probably see play outside the archetype. This is, in my opinion, is another hand trap. This is basically your 3 gamma, 1 driver kind of thing. This is how I think this will be played. Now, obviously, it can be played with the K9 stuff as well, but this will probably be played as a hand trap as well. So just keep in mind in that as well. So that is the monsters. Now for the spell traps, Case of the K9 is a continuous spell. When this card is activated, you can add a K9 monster from your deck to your hand, so it's just a rota for the archetype. Then K9 monsters you control gain 900 attack the turn your opponent activated a monster effect in the hand or graveyard, kind of the same requirements as Azuna and Lupus. And then if this card isn't destroyed by card effect, you can set 1 K9 quick play spell from your deck or graveyard. You can only use this effect of Case of the K9 once per turn. You can only activate Case of the K9 once per turn, making it where the top effect can only be activated once per turn as well. So it's a rota, continuous spell. It also gains additional effects if your opponent decides to activate something from the hand or graveyard as well, but more just it's a rota for the archetype. Now on to the quick play spells that's settable off the Case of the K9. K9 X Forced Liberation. During the main phase, you can target a K9 XYZ monster you control. Special summon from the extra deck 1 K9 XYZ monster with a different name using the monster you control as material. It's treated as an XYZ summon and transfers material to the summoned monster. Then you can destroy 1 card your opponent controls. Then at the end of the battle phase, if a K9 monster battled this turn, you can set this card from your graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn. So the big one is it helps you get to Werewolf, which we'll talk about in just 1 second by using one of the K9 rank 5s. But not only does it help you get to the rank 9, but it also destroys a card for the effect as well. So not only do you get the XYZ summon, but you also get to destroy the card, or destroy a card your opponent controls as well. So it technically counts as interruption. And then if a K9 monster battle this turn, you get just to reset it, which is very good as well. So a very overall good card. And then the other quick play spell is K9 LC Liberation, which is a quick play spell. Target a K9 XYZ monster or a rank 5 XYZ monster you control. Special summon from your extra deck 1 K9 XYZ monster with a different name by using that monster you control as material. Then transfer everything. It's treated as an XYZ summon. Transfer the materials, and then at the end of the battle phase, if a K9 monster battle this turn, you can set this card from your graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn. So kind of the same idea as X Force Liberation, but the upside with this is you can use any rank 5 to help you get to any of the K9 monsters. So you can just target any rank 5, let's say like Volcasaurus, let's say, then make like Ripper on top of it, and then continue the play from there as well. So that's like the upside with compared to X Force. X Force has to target a K9 monster and can only summon Werewolf. Unfortunately, while this one can target any rank 5 and then summon any K9 XYZ monster that has a different name compared to the card you targeted, which is really good, but you don't get the pop off of Liberation. So that's kind of like the upsides and downsides of each card, and they both have the same bottom effect, where at the end of the battle phase of a K9 monster battle, you can just reset it as well. So those are quick plays. Now for the trap, K9 EW Experimental Liberation. This trap card is a normal trap card, can special summon one K9 monster from your hand or graveyard, then you can special summon one K9 XYZ monster from your extra deck by using that special summon monster as material. This special summon monster is treated as an XYZ summon, but destroy it during the end phase of the next turn. Then during the end phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target a K9 quick play spell in your graveyard, set it, and you can only use each effect once per turn. Now you can, this is really good, you can just special a K9 monster from your hand or graveyard, so obviously if you already played turn 1, you'll have some in the graveyard. You can special summon it, then special summon a K9 XYZ monster from your extra deck by using monsters you can control. That's any of the K9 ones, so you can use like, you know, special like Lupus from graveyard, then overlay like Werewolf on top of it, which is really good. And then the end phase, it's destroyed during the end phase of the next turn, which isn't a problem because you're trying to kill him. If you get to turn 3, you're trying to kill him anyways, right? And then during the end phase, you can banish yourself to reset one of the quick play spells as well, which is pretty nice. Now, it's probably the worst card in the archetype, but it still probably has some applications you can use for sure. Now onto the XYZ monsters. We'll start off with K9 Ripper, which is probably the best XYZ in the extra deck. It requires just 2 level 5s to go into. You can detach one material from this card, add a K9 card from your deck to your hand. Then if your opponent activated a monster effect this turn, you can set one K9 quick play spell from your deck or graveyard as well. So not only does it search, but if your opponent already activated a monster effect, it can set a quick play spell from graveyard as well, which is very insane. And then its bottom effect is when your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand or graveyard, you can quick effect, detach a material, negate that effect, which is really good as well. You can only use each effect once per turn, but overall, really good card. Not only is it a Rhoda for the archetype, but it's also a negation for a hand or graveyard effect, which is, you know, you can negate hand traps, you know, you can negate like a Fiendsmith card if you know, depending on the deck you're playing and stuff like that. It's a very, very overall good card. It's a Rhoda plus a negate, very good. And can also set a quick play spell if your opponent has activated a monster effect that turn as well. And then we have the other rank 5, which is K9 Hound. It requires 2 level 5 monsters to go into, cannot be destroyed by battle or opponent's card effects the turn it was special summoned. And then each time your opponent activates a monster effect, this card gains 500 attack when that effect resolves. Then once per turn during the standby phase, you can detach material from this card, target a card on the field, banish it. This is probably the worst extra deck monster compared to the 3, but still, you know, not bad. You know, the turn it's XYZ summon, you can just it can't be destroyed by battle or opponent's card effects, which is really good. And if you summon it early on their turn, it gains 500 attack for each card or monster effect that resolves. So, you know, it can get huge as fuck. And then during the standby, you can detach materials, target a card on the field, banish it, which is also not bad as well. Because if you use Liberation doesn't have to be in the main phase. X-Force Liberation has to be in the main phase, but LC Liberation does not have to be in the main phase. So you can do this like in the standby, overlay, activate this target of rank 5, overlay the Hound, and get the Hound effect in the standby. So, you know, probably the worst extra deck monster, but still not terrible. And then the last extra deck monster is K9X Werewolf, which requires 2 level 9 monsters to make, but obviously the quick play spells can access it as well. And while this card is material, it can attack as number of times each battle phase up to the number of materials attached to it. Then when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can detach material from this card, activate depending on whose turn it is. If it's your turn, you can banish a card on your opponent controls and or in their graveyard as well, which is insane. But if you do it during your opponent's turn, you can look at your opponent's hand, banish one card from it face up until the end phase, and you can only use each effect once per turn. So it's a very overall card. So if you use it on your turn, it's a banish from field and graveyard. But if you use it during your opponent's turn, you can just look at their hand and rip a card out of hand as well, which is also very fucking insane if you ask me. So even though it's probably harder to access because it requires 2 level 9 monsters, the quick play spells help you access this card, which is still a very insane card. So that is it for the card analysis stuff. Now let's get into the deck list, shall we? Alrighty, so the first deck list we have looking over today is going to be a pure K9 deck. So one thing I probably should have said in the card analysis thing is, even though this deck, you know, is a full archetype, you'll probably be it more as a splashable engine. It'll probably be more like a Fiendsmith type where you splash it into a deck and helps play with that deck. Now, the pure version still exists and is still very good, don't get me wrong, but it's more likely to be played as an engine more than it is as a pure deck. So keep in mind of that. And also, same thing like I said in the card analysis, Azuna and Lupus will be more used as a hand trap than it is like more of a canine card. But again, a pure canine deck does exist, and this is what it looks like. So you kind of just run 3 of every name except for Lupus, because Lupus is the worst one in the archetype. This is you only want to get access through this through Azuna's dump. You don't necessarily want to draw Lupus ever. And then you're playing like rank or level 5s that just free specials themselves. So you're playing Diabellstar, the Negation Fortress. This is probably the best one because it's not only a free special summon, but if you go second, you can special summon, so it specials itself to a column that has no cards in it, but anything that's activated in that card's column is negated, which is really, really good. And then it can, place itself into the pendulum scales and do the same effect that any card activated in this card column is also negated as well. So it kind of has like going second ability as well, but it's mainly there just as a free special summon, free level 5 special summon that doesn't require a normal summon or anything like that. Red Layer is the same idea. If you control no monsters, you just special itself. It's a level 5. This has been played in Infernoble Knight in the past because it's been a free warrior for them, but now in this deck it's a free level 5. Trickdark Horribane is kind of the same idea as well. It's just same thing as Red Layer. If you control no more monsters, you can just special itself to the field. It's just a free level 5s. You can special summon that doesn't require your normal summon because these are the cards you're trying to normal summon. Right, so that's kind of the idea with the monsters there, as these are the level 5s you can just free special itself, and they're also just level 5, so if you end up drawing this plus like Jokel, you can just get the Jokel effect live as well. Now for the spell cards, we're playing Chaotic Elements, which is a card that I believe it was released earlier this year. I forget what set it was. I'm going to say Supreme Darkness. That can definitely be wrong. It could not be correct, but it was released earlier this year. It was a common, so it's actually not that hard. If you look through your bulk, you probably have this card if you bought that set. But it can add a level 5 or higher monster, light or dark, pyro or aqua from deck or graveyards in your hand. Then if you have 3 or more pyros and or aqua monsters in your graveyard, it destroys a card. So not only is it a Rhoda, but can also be an interruption piece as well. So the cards you're searching off of Chaotic Elements is Jokel, which is a dark aqua, or Lantern, which is a dark pyro. So that's kind of like the reason why we're playing this card. Also has a nice graveyard effect. You can, if your opponent controls a light or dark pyro or aqua monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target a monster your opponent controls, take control of it, which is fucking insane because it doesn't have to target the light or dark pyro. They just have to control that. Then you can target any of their monsters to do it. So the very insane card that's actually really solid for the pure deck. For sure, you're playing 7 Tachyon because you're playing both 104 and 101 in the extra deck. So 101 helps you get to, it's an aqua, so it can help you get to Jokel. But 104 is a dark rank 5, so it can get you access to Jokel and Lantern as well. You can also play Giant Hand as well, that can search a Earth, which can help you get into Azuna or Lupus if you really want to. I don't think that's necessarily the greatest because these are the cards you really want to search in pure, but that is an idea you could do as well. So 7 Tachyon is fine. This is the only card that locks you into the archetype or into XYZs. Surprisingly enough, none of the K9 cards lock you into anything, surprisingly. So that's why they can be splashed into other decks, is because they don't lock you into anything, right? So you're playing 3/7 Tachyons just for more consistency, because again, there's not that many K9 monsters in the deck. You're playing 3 Case of the K9 because it is just a Rhoda, then 1 of each quick play spells. You don't necessarily want to draw the quick play spells. You want more access through like searching through Lantern's effect, or to set it through like a Ripper's effect as well. And also, no, never mind. Ignore me. Ignore that. So yeah, you're only playing 1 of each. And then you have 15 non-engine here. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to be this non-engine. I just put like generic engine or a non-engine in the deck. So if you want to like switch it up, you could. But 14 slots for non-engines. I'm playing Fua, Ash, Ghost Bell, Nib, and Imperm. It, again, doesn't have to be that non-engine. It can be whatever you want, but 14 slots for a non-engine isn't that bad. And you can even like increase it a little bit more. Maybe you don't play as many level 5 extenders like I'm playing, so you can make it like 15 or 16 if you want to as well. So that's it for the main deck. Now for the extra deck, I'm on 3 Ripper, because 3 Ripper is just the best. We already talked about Ripper here. I'm playing 1 Hound and then 1 Werewolf. You could probably play 2, especially since you're on 2 quick plays. You can probably play 2 Werewolves as well. I'm only on the 1 though. And now for other level 5s we're playing Valion, the Super Sky Blaster, which is really good. It's just a generic level 5 that can book a Muna card, and then if it's sent to the graveyard, it can target a face down card on the field. destroy it, which is very insane as well. So not only is it a Book of Moon, but you can also pop like back rows or even the set card that you set off of the Sky Blaster. So it's a really good one. I think it's a super rare from Duelist Advance, so it just came out, and it's probably not that expensive to get. Number 61 Volcasaurus is also in here. It's just a once per turn detach an XYZ material from this card, target face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy that opponent's monster, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's original attack, but this card cannot attack your opponent directly the turn you activate this, which isn't that much of a problem because you have the quick play Liberation. You can just target Volcasaurus and then just go into like a werewolf or any of the K9 cards for that matter. So you can play this. This is a game reprinted in the set that K9 is coming out in, so not hard to pick up. I'm playing C101 for Daxi 7 Tachyon. I'm playing 104 with C104 with 104. This is for the Nash Knight play. So Nash Knight requires 2 level 5s. During the main phase, you can detach 2 materials from this card, attach a number monster, which I attach 104, but you can also attach like C101 or C104, depending on what you want to do. Attach, and then you can attach 1 other face-up monster on the field as well, so that you can attach a opponent's monster as well. So you're playing that, then you can go into Nash Knight overlay on top of Nash Knight. So you play CXYZ Nash Knight to overlay on top of Nash Knight through CXYZ's summon condition. And then you can do this effect to detach material, special summon from the extra deck 1 number XYZ monster with the numbers between 101 and 107, then just using this face-up card. So if you use 104, as material, oh my god, what's going on? 104 as material for Nash Knight, you go Nash Knight, attach 104, attach a monster, go overlay CXYZ over Nash Knight, CXYZ effect detaching probably just Nash Knight, or whatever you attached off of Nash Knight as well, to overlay 104, C104 on top of Nash Knight, and then C104 does have the 104 as material, so it does get this effect where it's once per turn during either player's turn when a monster effect is activated on your opponent's side of the field. Detach material from this card, negate the activation, then send 1 random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. And if you do, have their opponent life 20. Just so many effects that for some reason it's just all of them are insane. And then on special summon can just destroy a spell trap on field, which is nice as well. I'm also on a Zeus because you're on a shit ton of XYZs. Might as well just play the Zeus. Then I'm on an IP and SP because you're not locked into anything. The only thing that locks you is 7 Tachyon. So the IP and SP are just in here as generic extra deck monsters that you could make as well. But there's other stuff you can do with this. You can play Infiltrack Riverstorm with Regulus if you really want to, because this is, again, just a generic 2 level 5s to go into. Detach a material, take an Earth monster from your deck, either add it to the hand or send it to the graveyard, so you can just search Regulus, and then you use like Gravity Controller to link off the Riverstorm to the graveyard, and then go Regulus effect to get the Omni Negate targeting the Riverstorm. Same thing with the IP, so if you can like link this plus another monster to an IP, then go Regulus, which is really cool as well. And then we already talked about why 106 is getting played. You can also play Imperial Princess Kinakari. This is important for exactly this dumbass shit, the artifact stuff, that you can Mjolnir lock your opponent. So you can go like Dagda, set Mjolnir, then like, somehow go into like 104, pop, because 104 can pop any spell trap on the field, pop Mjolnir, and then go into Imperial Princess Kinkuri, put Mjolnir to your opponent's field, and then just lock him out of the game, because Mjolnir, when it's special summoned during your opponent's turn, you can target an artifact monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense. Even though they don't have a target, that still activates because that's a mandatory effect, and it does lock you. You can also not special summon monsters until the end of the next turn, except for artifact monsters. So that's a mandatory effect that triggers on their field. Because the special summon, it doesn't say you can. It's just if this is a special summon during your opponent's turn, target an artifact. So that is a mandatory effect that has to trigger that locks you. So that's the problem with this dumbass shit. Please ban Dagda, please. Just get the fucking card. This has been a part of so much degenerate shit in the game. Please just ban Dagda, because we don't really need to ban fucking Mjolnir, to be honest with you. But that's other stuff you can do with the deck as well. So that is it for the deck list for Pier. Now let's get into some combos, shall we? Alrighty, now on to the combo portion of the video here. So, the problem with the K9 deck is there isn't a true one-card combo to the deck post Justice Hunters. Now, there is a new card that they're getting in the future that does make one card combos, but we're not going to be talking about that card in this video. This is just post Justice Hunters that we're talking about. So there really isn't a one card combo with this deck. So you kind of have to open 2 card combos. But the thing with K9 is their 2 card combos are really, really, really fucking good. So that is the one thing you do have to worry about with K9. There isn't really a true 1 card combo of the deck. You kind of have to open 2 level 5s to play. But if you open 2 level 5s, it can play, and it's pretty good as well. And it's not hard. We're playing a lot of consistency cards in the deck and stuff like that as well. So this is going to be showing, so I have 3 replays. I'm going to show off a replay starting with Jackal, 1 replay starting with Lantern, 1 replay starting with Azuna, and then a replay where you open 2 level 5s, but that aren't K9 names as well. And then the last combo I'll show off is me drawing a sample 5 cards and just playing with the sample 5 cards in my hand. So we'll start off with the first one, which is Jackal here. And we have Negation Fortress in our hand. Again, Jackal's effect doesn't care. You just have to reveal another level 5 monster in your hand. So you just go main phase, go Jackal effect here, special itself to the field, and then special the Dia Blaster. Then go Jackal effect here to search for Azuna, just a non-Aqua K9 monster. So we search for Azuna here. Overlay into the K9 Ripper here. Go K9 Ripper effect detaching to search for a K9 monster from your deck. Now, you probably want to switch this up. You probably don't search Azuna first. The reason why I search Azuna is just in case I get Drolled and Lockbird here. So if you get Drolled, you can go Azuna effect to play. But if you're not scared of Droll and you want to go, or more scared of Ripper getting negated, then you can go Lantern instead. And if this gets negated, you still have Lantern to play with Jackal instead. But, you know, it just depends on what you're trying to play around. I'm more trying to play around Droll and Lockbird, which is why I'm searching Azuna, because if I get Drolled, I can play with Azuna because they've activated something in hand, and Azuna can dump, you know, Lupus, and then Lupus can special itself and stuff like that. But it just depends on what you're trying to play around, right? But so we go Ripper effect to search here. We will search for Lantern here. Then we'll go Lantern effect targeting the Jackal and Graveyard, special both to the field here. And then we'll go Lantern effect here to go ahead and add X-Force Liberation here. And we'll go ahead and just overlay into a Valion, the Super Side Blaster as well. And then here you can just set this and pass. Now, if they interacted with you on this turn, let's say they like Charmy Dude or something like that, you can trigger Azuna if you really want to, but you could, you know, if they don't interact with you, this is just better to save as a hand trap. So your interruptions here off of just the Jackal and 1 other level 5 is you have a Ripper effect that can negate a monster or a card that is it a monster? No, activates, yeah, a monster in the effect from the hand or graveyard. So it can negate, like, you know, let's say Marchair or a Fiendsmith card, or, you know, Mitsurugi cards as well. It can negate. So which is really nice. Then you have a Bookamoon off of the Valion Super Sky Blaster. Then you have K9X, which you will target Ripper here because you have to target a K9 monster. Overlay into X and then pop a card on field. So that's 3 interruptions now. You have X Werewolf whenever they activate a card effect to rip a card out of hand, which is pretty nice as well. And then by technicality, depending on the deck, like if you verse Yummy, this Azuna effect would probably be dead. But if they decide to, you know, if you're versing a deck that activates something from the hand or graveyard, the Azuna effect is live here. We can special itself to the field. Go Azuna effect on field to dump Lupus. Then go Lupus effects when something was triggered from hand or graveyard to special itself. Then effect on field to overlay into a Nash Knight. It can be Nash Knight. It can be like whatever rank 5 you want to make in scenarios. Go Nash Knight effect to detach 2 to... We'll attach 104 from the extra deck, and then just take or attach one of their monsters to Nash Knight as well. And this card can't be targeted, and it can't be destroyed by battle while a number monster is under it, which 104 is currently in right now. So by technicality, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interruptions, if I'm not mistaken, because you had the negate off of Ripper, you had the Bookamoon off of Sky Blaster, you had the pop off of Liberation, so that's 3 right there. You have Werewolf Rip, which is 4, and then you have Nash Knight, you know, attach a card from their field, which is 5 as well. So that was 5 interruptions off a 2-card combo. Now let's get into a different combo, shall we? Alrighty, so this combo will now show off if you start with Azuna. Now, you still have to open another level 5 like you did with Jackal. Again, this deck, you just kind of, there's just no one card combo. You have to play with 2 cards. So this time we're playing with Trickstar Corbane. Again, any just level 5 that can just special itself works in this scenario. So you can just special Corbane since you control no monsters. Then normal summon Azana, because in this scenario, they'll have a 5-card hand, so you can just normal summon Azuna. Go Azuna effect to dump Dracotail here. And then we're getting a little greedy here. We're not dumping Lupus. We're going to dump Dracotail instead, because we had to play a little greedy, because Azuna is probably one of the worser ones to start off with. So we can overlay into Ripper here, go Ripper effect detaching Azuna to go ahead and search for Lantern. Now we go Lantern effect here to go ahead and special Dracotail from the graveyard here. Now, if this got interrupted, let's say the Imperm Ripper, even if you dumped Lupus, it did not matter. So that's the reason why I got a little greedier and dumped Dracotail off of Azuna, because if this gets negated, you're not playing anyway, so you're just trying to play as much as possible, so you're playing a little greedy here. But this is still fine, so if it goes through, you still have the Lantern target Dracotail here. Now you have both on-field effects to trigger. You have Lantern effect to add a K9 Spell Trapper, which are adding X-Force Liberation, and then you have Dracotail's effect here to go ahead and search for Azuna as well, because you can search for any non-Aqua K9 monster. And then we can just overlay into the Sky Blaster here, and then this is pretty much the same end field that we got to with the last combo. So the same interruption pieces, so you know, during their turn you can negate a card from hand or graveyard with Ripper. You have a Book of Moon off of the Sky Blaster. You have the K9 X-Force, we can go into Wolf and then pop a card. Then Wolf effect to just go ahead and rip a card out of their hand as well. You have the Azuna, if they ever activate something from hand or graveyard, you have the Azuna effect to go ahead and special itself to the field, which, I mean, if you're triggering the Ripper effect, that means they did. So you go Azuna effect to dump Lupus, then Lupus effect to special itself to the field, and then just Lupus effect on field, overlaying the Azuna and the Lupus to go into Nash Knight. Same thing with Nash Knight, detach to, you know, attach a 104 and then attach one of their monsters to their field. Same interruptions as the last combo, just a little bit different in how to get to that combo if you're starting off with Azuma. Same 5 interruptions, but playing a little bit different because you open different combo pieces in your hand. Now let's get into a combo involving Lantern. Alrighty, so this combo is going to be starting off with Lantern. So we already went through Azuna, we already went through Dracotail. Now we'll start off with Lantern here. So during you know, we have Super Quantum Red Layer. Again, this can be just any level 5 that can just special itself to the field. Then normal summon Lantern, because they should have 5 cards in the hand theoretically. And then go Lantern effect to go ahead and add Case of the K9 here. And then go overlay into a Ripper. Go Ripper effect detaching Lantern to go ahead and search for Dracotail. Then we go Case of the K9 here to go ahead and get Azuna. Then we can go Dracotail effect to special itself and Azuna here. Then we can go Azuna effect to dump. We'll just dump Lupus to the graveyard. And then we can go Dracotail effect to go ahead and search for Lantern here. Now we can, this is a little bit of a weirder combo. We couldn't search a quick play spell because we had to search Case of the K9 to play. So this is going to be a little bit of a different combo. Again, nothing locks you out of into anything. The only thing you're technically locked into is these monsters can't be used as XYZ material for a light monster. So since we're not locked in anything, we'll just link both off into an IP Masquerena, then go Lantern effect, since we haven't triggered the Lantern effect in hand effect yet. Special summoning back the Dracotail here, and then just overlaying into a Sky Blaster once again, and we'll pass on that. So the same thing, pretty much the same field. The only thing that's different is you don't have the quick play spell, you have IP Masquerena instead. So you go standby main phase, you know, Ripper can still affect detach to, you know, negate a card in hand or graveyard. You have the Sky Blaster to book a Moon card. You have the IP, you can link off the Sky Blaster here to go into SP. You can go SP Chainlink 1 and then Sky Blaster Chainlink 2 to pop a face down card. That can either be the card it booked a Moon, or it can be like, you know, any spell trap that they set as well. And then the SP also banishes a card. Then you can go the second effect of SP to banish itself and a card they control as well. So in this combo, you lose out on the quick play, and you also lose out on the Azuna effect in hand because we couldn't get Azuna in hand effect. Now you could have, if you decide not to make IP, you can just make Sky Blaster and Ripper, pass on that to get to a third, and keep Azuna in hand to get to a third XYZ. But I think the IP play is probably a little bit better there instead. Gets you a little bit more interruptions to play with as well. So that is that combo involving Lantern. Now we're not going to start with Lupus because Lupus is the worst one to draw. Lupus is never the card you want to draw because it doesn't do any combo by itself. So we're not going to show off any combo with Lupus, but we're going to now show off a combo that involves 2 level 5s that aren't K9 monsters. Alrighty, so this is going to be the combo piece with 2 level 5 monsters that aren't K9 monsters. This is just 2 generic level 5s that you can make. So this is, again, just 2 level 5s that can just special itself to the field. We'll start off with Red Layer because you have to, because Red Layer has to control no monsters to special itself. Then we can go Negation Fortress to special to a card that has no columns in it. That's 2 level 5s. Now you can just overlay into a Ripper here, because Ripper is just generic 2 level 5s. Go Ripper effect, detaching, doesn't really matter. To search for Jokel here. And then you can just normal summon Jokel, because we haven't normal summoned yet. And again, theoretically, they should have a 5-card hand. Jokel effect to go ahead and search for a non-canine, or non-aqua canine. So we'll search for Lantern here. And then we'll just, link both of this off. This is where it's really bad, because you have to link off your Ripper to do this. Now, you don't necessarily have to. You can just go like 2 level 5s, make Ripper, search Azuna, pass on that. But we're trying to set up as much interruptions as possible. So we're just going to an IP play here. Then go Lantern effect, go ahead, it's special itself, and the Jokel here. And then we can go Lantern effect here to go ahead and search for Case of the Canine. Then we can just activate Case of the Canine, search for Azuna here, then overlay these two into the supersized Sky Blaster, which is really good, and we pass on that. So this is technically the worst of the combos because you didn't end on that much because you had to link off the Ripper to play, but still not terrible, right? Because you still have Sky Blaster, which is a Book of Moon, right? So you also have the IP Masquerena, which can link both off into SP. You have SP interaction, and you also have Sky Blaster. Again, Sky Blaster, the graveyard effect is a little bit more conditional. You can pop the card that had Book of Moon or Spell Trap, but that interruption isn't as guaranteed. But you have the SP to banish the card as well. But you can also go the second effect of SP to get 2 banishes of a monster as well. And if they ever activated something in hand or graveyard, you still have the Azuna effect in your hand as well to dump out Lupus. Lupus effect to special itself to the field here. And then go Lupus effect on field effect to go ahead and make Ripper here. You put it in attack position. And this is cool because Ripper can't be targeted because of Lupus effect as well. Then go, K9 Ripper can, negate a card. Now, if you're versing like a deck like Yummy, then Ripper is probably not the correct thing to do. You probably make like a Nash Knight instead. But if they are activating cards from hand or graveyard, this is probably the correct thing to do because you have Case of the K9, which is boosting it by 900 attack. Again, if they're activating something in the hand or graveyard, Case of the K9 does get that 900 boost. And it gets you the follow-up play as well. If they don't out this card, you can follow up, activate, search for a K9 card, and keep playing from there as well. So that is it for the combo pieces there. Now let's show off a 5-card sample hand. Alrighty, now for the sample 5-card hand that we're about to draw here. Again, this is just to show you a sample 5 cards, and I'll play with the sample 5 cards just to kind of show you, because this is the more realistic scenario, because you're always drawing 5 cards. You shouldn't be going off just like 2-card combos and stuff like that. Even though it's good to know what to do with those 2-card combos, the more you're going to learn with the deck is by drawing 5-card hands and just playing with what you drew, right? So that's why I'm going to be showing off right now. So we're going to shuffle the deck a couple of times here. We'll give it a quick couple of shuffles, and then we'll draw 5 cards here. So we'll draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That hand's interesting. So we drew Ghost Bells are one of our hand traps, which is interesting as fuck. So, okay, so we want to play around Droll as well. So we can, yeah, this is correct. So we'll start off with Chaotic Elements here. I don't think the 7th Tachyon is really necessary because we have a lot of combo pieces in our hand. Anyway, so we'll go Chaotic Elements here to go ahead and search for Jokel here because it's an Aqua Dark, so it really works there, which is pretty nice. If they Droll, it's fine. We can still pretty much play. It's a little rough to play with that. Maybe you go 7, I don't know. I think this is pretty much fine. If you get Drolled, it's unfortunate, but you can still play your game, right? Now we can go Jokel effect, special itself, and the Lantern to the field. Then go Jokel effect to search. I think we can just search Lantern is probably fine, to be honest with you. And then we can go Lantern effect to search for a quick play spell. We can search for the Case of the K9 as well, but I don't think we really need Case of the K9, to be honest with you. So I'm going to search the other quick play spell that we have as well. We're going to overlay these two, make the Ripper here. Wherever Ripper is, there he is. We'll go Ripper effect, detaching Jokel. If this gets negated, it's fine. We still have Lantern to keep playing, so that's perfectly fine with us. But if they don't negate it, then we just search for the Azuna, which is pretty nice as well. Then we go Lantern effect to special itself and the Jokel to the field. And then overlay these two into the Sky Blaster. Where is it? There it is. Cool. Probably defense is fine. Yeah, that's probably fine. I think that's a pretty good infield, not going to lie with you. We have both quick play spells, so we can just set these two. We probably set Tachyon as a bluff, just so we bluff it and pass on that. So maybe I should have went more in depth with the deck profile. This is more of a control deck. The Pure version is more of a control deck compared to a combo deck. That's something you do have to keep in mind with this deck. You're not trying to overly combo with the deck. The Pure deck only just tries to control the game, and that's pretty much it. So with this, we pass on that. So we have a Book of Moon with Sky Blaster. We have a Negate with Ripper. We have this targeting Ripper to destroy, summon out Wolf, and we can destroy a card as well, which is pretty nice. This will be a hand rip during opponent's turn. But we also have this, which can overlay into, I'd probably summon Hound off of this, which is probably fine. Yeah, because Ripper doesn't do anything because you already triggered the effect. We could probably save this. You don't necessarily have to do this straight away, but we can do this, summon out Hound, and then we can always just get Hound effect and keep gaining 500 attack. And then during our standby, it can pop a card as well. And then if they activate it, we have Ghost Spell as well, which is pretty nice as well. But if they ever activate something in hand, we have the Azuna effect to special itself, Azuna effect to dump out the Lupus to the graveyard. And then we can go Lupus effect special itself to the field since something was activated in the hand or graveyard. And then we can go Lupus effect on field to overlay these two into, again, depending on what, just, when you're doing this, but Nash Knight is probably, if you need the interruption, Nash Knight is probably the correct play. Then go Nash Knight effect, detaching 2 to put 104. It doesn't have to be 104. Nope, don't overlay. But it's just the best thing because if Nash Knight stays on the field, then you can go into this dude, which can overlay into this dude, which is pretty nice. And then this can attach one of their monsters as well, which is pretty nice. So, very decent hand there. We had a couple hand traps. We had a lot of engine pieces there, which is kind of unfortunate. We only had the Ghost Spell to play as a hand trap. But, still a lot of interruption pieces and stuff like that. Again, this can be just a Ripper if you want, like, the follow-up plays and stuff like that as well. We technically have the 7 Tachyon to play with the follow-up there. But that was your sample 5-card hand. Now let's get into a different deck list, shall we? Alrighty, now showing off our first deck list that's going to be splashing K9 in the next format. And it's probably going to be the most popular one going into the next format as well. And that is K9 Vanquish Soul. So, as you can see, I'm going to talk about the K9 stuff first before we start talking about the Vanquish Soul stuff. So, as you can see, the engine is a little bit smaller. We're on 3 Azuna, because Azuna is a hand trap paired up with Lupus. You have 3 Jokel, which is just the best starter in the deck, because both Holy Sue and Jiaolong are level 5s, which is pretty nice. And then you're on 1 Lantern, because you don't necessarily want to draw Lantern, 1 Lupus, 1 Case of the K9, and 1 X-Force Liberation. So you're on 3 of the good names and then 1 of everything else pretty much to kind of just make it a smaller engine for K9, and then you're backing it up with the Vanquish Soul engine as well. So why is this one of the decks that might be, and why I say is probably going to be the most popular going into the next format, is because, well, 1, both Jiaolong and Holy Sue are both level 5, so they work well in compared to getting to Jokel. If you draw Jokel with another level 5s, you can just play with those cards as well. But you don't necessarily have to draw the K9 engine. If you get Holy Sue plus Jiaolong onto the field, you can just overlay into a Ripper, and then Ripper can help you access, or the Ripper, getting into Ripper can help you access into the K9 engine after that. So that's kind of one idea with the deck. But the other idea, and the reason why a lot of people are getting this hyped right now, is because it kind of resembles a tier limit kind of style of playing during your opponent's turn. This deck can play on turn 0. So Azuna is one of those cards where if they activate a card from hand or graveyard, or a monster effect in hand or graveyard, you can just do Azuna effect, dump Lupus, get into a rank 5, right? But Holy Sue is kind of the same idea as well, because Holy Sue, if you draw the correct attributes, can not only special itself by revealing a Vanquish Soul, but can also, either Snatch Steal or special summon a Vanquish Soul monster during your opponent's turn as well, which also helps play during your opponent's turn as well. So that's kind of the idea, is both Azuna plus Holy Sue kind of help play during your opponent's turn, which is very nice. But Another reason why this Vanquish Soul is pretty good is because the attributes for K9 match up very well with the Vanquish Soul, because you have an Earth and Dark. It can help, reveal like for Earth or Dark for, Vanquish, or for Holy Sue and stuff like that, or like reveal like a Earth or Dark for Dr. Madlove's effect and stuff like that, is their attributes are very well suited with the Vanquish Soul stuff as well. If K9 had a Fire, it'd be insane as well, but they're just Earth and Darks at the moment right now. So that's the reason why people are hyping this up quite a lot, is it helps, you can play during turn 0, which kind of gives it the tier limit kind of effect there. Let me make sure. I'm getting a little dark in my room. I'm going to turn on my light here. I probably won't help as much. I'm just turn on the light just in case. But yeah, it just helps, gives you the tier limit style of playing during your opponent's turn as well. So meaning you're on maybe less non-engine, because your engine can play during your opponent's turn. Anyways, we have 13 engine anyways. We're on 3 Fua, 3 Ash, 3 DD Crow, or 2 DD Crow, 2 Ghost Bell, and then one of each Magna and Druid. Now, these are just attributes that fit well with the Vanquish Soul. That's why we're on DD Crow. That's why we're on Ghost Bell. Even though I think Ghost Bell is pretty good next format, that's why we're on Ghost Bell, because the attributes line up as well. And that's why we're on the Bestials, because you're on Darks as well. And that's why you're playing Ash as well, because Ash is a fire you can reveal for the Vanquish Soul stuff as well. So we're on pretty much 3 of every name. Maybe you can put Jialong to 2, but again, this is more of a sample deck list for you to test with it, and then you can switch up ratios after that. But that's pretty much it. This is pretty standard when it comes to Vanquish Soul stuff. 3 Sacred Soul. We're on, 2 Heavy Borger, 1 Field Spell, 1 Snow Devil for your just Vanquish Soul spell traps. The extra deck is pretty much the same. The only difference is you're on 2 rocks because of Vanquish Soul can get to it. SP is just generic still. But you're also playing Typhon is a card I wasn't playing in Pure, but you can still play in this deck. You're probably wanting to play 2 Rippers. I'm only playing 1, but if you want to cut Sky Crisis and put a second Ripper in, I would probably do that. Actually, I'm going to do that right now just so it's in the deck list, because I'm honestly not a fan of Typhon anyways. But another thing you can do is, Vanquish Soul Rocks is a, Vanquish Soul card as well. But another thing is Paradise Smasher. So this card is very important. The reason why I didn't show it off in Pure is because a lot of the special summon effects for K9 locks it where you can't use them as light or XYZ materials for lights. And that is the problem with Paradise. It's a light, so you can't use them to go into Paradise Smasher. But with Vanquish Soul, if you just get the Holy Sue plus Jialong, then just like normal summon a K9 monster, you can make a Paradise Smasher and just lock your opponent out of the game. This is just a Shockmaster if you don't know what this card does. Once returned during the main phase, you can detach 2 materials from this card. Each player rolls a 6-sided dice twice. The player with a higher total cannot activate monster effects or declares attack until the end of the next turn. So it's a Shockmaster basically, but the reason why you want to put with 3 of them is because if you have to detach 2 to do the effect, but if you have a material, if this card has material when a player rolls a 6-sided dice, you can make one of those dice 7, which makes it where you can make your opponent have the higher die roll and make it where they're shut out from the game. So yeah, this is a very toxic card that hopefully gets banned soon, but they're reprinting this card, so they probably, hopefully they ban this card. This card is fucking annoying, but yes, Vanquish Soul can make this. That's one of the differences with the extra deck there as well. And one note before we get to the combos, one thing I do want to say. So I do have 2 combos lined up here of 2 2-card combos I'm going to show off here. But the problem with, this deck and a lot of the decks that we're about to show off that's splashing K9 is it's more about 5-card hands than it is about 2-card combos. Yes, you probably still want to know the 2-card combos, but this is one of those decks where it's very dependent on what you draw, right? Like if you can, depending on the attributes for Holy Sue, or, depending on, the non-engine you draw. Like that's what this matters, because a lot of the Vanquish Soul cards need certain attributes to activate. So it makes it where like you have to draw the certain attributes. So in the combos I'm about to show off, I'm going to show 2 2-card combos, but I'm also probably going to do 2 to 3, I don't know, probably 3 5-card sample hands just to play with 5-card sample hands, because 5-card hands matter more in this deck compared to other decks, because this is very much a hand-dependent deck. But with that out of the way, now let's get into the combos, shall we? Alrighty, now on to the 2-card combo. So this is going to be, I'm going to show you 2 2-card combos and then do 3 5-card sample hands, because once again, like I said in the deck list, this deck matters more on playing with 5-card hands, because this deck is very hand-dependent deck. Like it depends on what you have in your hand, depending like if you don't draw the right attributes in your hand, there's a chance you just don't combo. But if you draw the correct attributes in your hand, you can just go fully all the way off, which matters a lot. So, but I am going to show you two card combos before we get to the 5-card sample hand. So, starting off with this one, this is just a very simple one. It's the same thing as like pure K9 in a way. I'm just showing like the advantages of playing with the Vanquish Soul cards is because Holy Sue is just a level 5, so it works for Jiaokel's effect, right? So you can go Jiaokel effect, special out Holy Sue and itself, and then go Jiaokel effect to go ahead and search here. Now we search for Azuna. Now think about it. If we had like a 5-card hand, if we drew like another attribute, right? Let's say we had like a dark, we can like snatch steal a card if we want to. But let's say I had a fire in hand. Instead of searching Azuna, we can search for another like lantern to get the dark. And we can use fire and dark to use Holy Sue's effect, which is very nice as well. That's the reason why I want to show you the 5-card sample hand, because that does matter for this deck. But in this scenario, again, we're just playing with the 2 cards, so we'll just overlay into a Ripper effect. Again, this is kind of just the same combos I showed off with the pure deck, but I just want to show it off just because, you know, Holy Sue is a 5, so I just kind of wanted to show that off. We search for Lantern effect, target Jiaokel, special itself, and Jiaokel to the field, and then just overlay these two, or Jiaokel effect first to search for the quick play spell, and then overlay into this Sky Blaster here. And then we just set one, end phase. Again, this is the same interruptions you had with Pier. You have the Book of Moon off the Sky Blaster. You have the Ripper off of to negate a hand or graveyard monster effect. And then you can go quick play, you know, overlay the Werewolf on top of Ripper, and then Ripper effect, or not Ripper, Werewolf effect to rip a card out of hand here. Then if they ever activate a card in hand or graveyard, which, I mean, if you're triggering Ripper, they did, you go Azuna effect to special itself, dump Lupus effect, special itself, then overlay, or Lupus effect to overlay both of them into a Nash Knight effect to detach 2, put a 104 under it, and then attach one of their monsters as material. Again, this is pretty much the same thing as Pure. I just wanted to show off that, you know, Vanquish Soul has level 5s that you can play with in this combo. And again, like I said, if you had more attributes in hand, you could have actually triggered the Holy Sue effect as well, and that's the reason why I want to show off the 5-card combos, or the 5-card sample hands instead. So that's it for that combo. Now let's get into the other 2-card combo. Alrighty, now for the other 2-card combo. So this one has Jiaokel plus Stake Your Soul with this one. So during this, we go standby main phase, we'll go Stake Your Soul effect. Go ahead and reveal Jiaokel, since it is a dark, to summon out Dr. Madlove. We can go Dr. Madlove effect here to go ahead and search for Vanquish Soul Start. Then go activate Vanquish Soul Start. Start effect, target Dr. Madlove to go ahead and, my god, my cat wants in the closet, to search for Holy Sue, since it is a different attribute. Now we can go Jiaokel effect to special itself and Holy Sue to the field. Go ahead and do Jiaokel's effect to go ahead and search for Azuna. Again, if we had more attributes in hand, you can search for a dark instead and go like fire and dark to special summon another K9 monster, or another Vanquish Soul monster from the deck if you want to. But again, this is just playing with the 2-card combo here, so we can just overlay these two into Ripper. Go Ripper effect, detaching Jiaokel to go ahead and search for Lantern here. And then go link off Dr. Madlove into a Rock. Then Rock effect to add back Dr. Madlove from the graveyard. Go Lantern effect to special itself and Jiaokel from the graveyard. Do Lantern effect to search for the quick play spell. Then overlay these two to go ahead and go into the Sky Blaster. Set 1, end phase. We actually do have a lot more since we do have the Rock on field. So in draw phase, standby main, you still have the same interruptions with Sky Blaster to Book a Moon a card. You have Ripper to negate a card in the hand or graveyard. But now, well, before that, you can go quick play spell, go into Werewolf, and then Werewolf effect to go ahead and rip a card out of the hand whenever they activate a card or effect. But now you have Rock effect to go ahead and add back Holy Sue. Now you have Holy Sue effect. Holy Sue effect, reveal the Dr. Madlove to go ahead and special itself to the field. And then you have an Earth and Dark, so you can now snatch steal off of Holy Sue. Now, it fucks up Azuna a little bit because there would be a card on the field in one of your zones, so it fucks up Azuna's like hand trap effect. But let's say they out that card somehow, some way. Just say it like so, just so you have the Azuna effect to keep playing, to dump Lupus and Lupus effect. So they just out one of your monsters on field. Then now you have Azuna to go into a Nash Knight or, you know, Ripper, depending on whatever rank 5 you want to make. Same thing, go 104, attach a monster. So there, it's the same interruptions, but you also had a Holy Sue to snatch steal a card, and you have like the Dr. Madlove for like follow-up as well. Even though it doesn't get that much follow-up, it is technically follow-up with Vanquish Soul Start as well. So that is it for the 2-card combos. Now let's show off 5-card sample hands. Alrighty, now for the sample 5-card hand. So I'm going to do 3 of them just to kind of give you more variance in the hands here. But again, I think these are more important to play out compared to the 2-card combos because, again, this deck matters for what's in your hand. This is a very hand-dependent deck, so I think the 5-card sample hands matter way more than the 2-card combos I just showed off there. So we'll give it a couple shuffles here. Let me just, there we go. That should be enough. And we'll draw a 5-card hand here. 4, 5. Okay, not the greatest in the world because Charmy isn't one of the correct attributes we can play off of it. But this is still a playable hand. How do I want to play this, though? Because draw is a problem. I think I'm losing the draw no matter what, though. We can yeah, we're very much still just losing to draw no matter what. Like, yeah, there's no point. I'm losing the draw no matter what. So if they draw us, we just lose. So there's no point to play. We can go Stake Your Soul, reveal the DD Crow in hand. I think this is probably more correct to play. Go Dr. Madlove. Go Dr. Madlove effect to go ahead and search for a spell card. We'll search for the field spell here. If they draw us, unfortunate, they draw us if they do draw us, because we can't really do anything after that. But if they don't, we can go Vanquish will start effect to go target the Dr. Madlove. Is it correct to get Raisin here? We haven't normaled. I'm not against that. We get Raisin here, and we can just normal summon Raisin. Go Raisin effect to go ahead and search for. It's always Holy Sue off of Doctor or off of Raisin, and then we can go. We kind of play into Nib pretty hard though now. I think we can play around that. Now we can go Case of the Canine here. Go ahead and search for probably Dracotail is probably fine. Yeah, that's probably good enough. It's gonna play hard into Nibiru, which is kind of a problem. We probably link this off first. Go into Rock. Then go Rock effect to add back just so we can get the Raisin for follow-up if we need to. Then we can go Dracotail effect. Special itself out to the field plus Holy Sue. And then we can go Dracotail effect to go ahead and search. We already have a Dark. So we can just search for an Earth, but we'll just get a Zuna here. And then go. You probably do that first. You probably do this first with the Raisin on field, then make it Rock your 5th summon. 1, 2, 3, 4. You search the Azuna, then do this. So if they nib you, you have the Azuna to keep playing. That's the way you play that. Okay, sorry. But now you still have the same situation here. But now we have a Fire and Dark to special off of Holy Sue, which is pretty nice as well. We can special that. We don't have 2 fires in hand, unfortunately. Sorry, this deck can do a lot. That's why, this is one of those thought-provoking decks that you really have to think through with it. So we can do that. Holy Sue effect, reveal Fire and Dark to special summon. We will special summon. We don't have 2 fires for Jiaolong, unfortunately. That's the problem I'm seeing, but I think it's still pretty much worth it. Go Jiaolong. Overlay these 2, keep the Holy Sue on field here. Go into Ripper, then go Ripper effect, detaching Dracotail. Go ahead and search for, where is it? Lantern. Wherever Lantern's at, there's Lantern. Okay. Then we can go Lantern effect, targeting the Dracotail and Graveyard special both to the field here. Then Lantern effect to go ahead and search for the Quick Play spell. There it is. And then overlay these 2 into. Oh, it's always this. Sorry, there we go. Okay, yeah, that's a pretty fucking solid hand. Not gonna lie with you. Holy shit. We set this. We can even set the Stake Your Soul as bluff. The Azuna doesn't necessarily do anything. We just can't get it onto the field there. If they ever interacted with us, we could have Azuna special, then use Azuna, Holy Sue, and the Jiaolong we specialed off of Holy Sue to go into Paradise Smasher, which is insane because the special summon doesn't. The only special summon that doesn't lock you from using lights, which is very insane to me, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's pretty much the end field. So you have Ripper as Interruption, you have Sky Blaster as a Book of Moon, you still have Holy Sue, which is very insane on field, which is either, for our hand, it's either a Snatch Deal or a Reborn, or a Snatch Deal or a special summon, which is very insane, because we have Fire, Dark, and Earth in our hand. We have, so yeah, let's say it's their turn, right? So we have this as a negation. We have this as a Book of Moon. So we'll just detach. It doesn't really matter. Detach that one. We have this to return the lowest defense because we have an Earth and Dark. So we return the lowest defense. So hopefully, the lowest defense for us is 18. So anything lower than 18 would work. Then we have this to target Ripper, a special werewolf, and then pop a card, which is insane. Then you can rip a card out of hand with this. Then you have Holy Sue to Snatch Deal, which is fucking crazy. Either Snatch Deal or special. Like, we have so much interruption right now. Because we still have Crow, we still have Azuna, we still have Raisin. Like, we can go Rock, Special, Raisin, search for Caesar, which is fucking crazy as fuck. We still have, like, there's so much interruptions here. Like, we're actually running out of zones, which is the problem. So they have to clear a lot of stuff. But that was a lot of interaction pieces, and we still have, like, a DD Crow in our hand as well. So I'm glad we played that out there. So that's one of the 5-card sample hands. Now let's get into another 5-card sample hand. Alrighty, now on to another 5-card sample hand here. So we're going to shuffle up the deck a little bit just here. Shuffle, 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 then draw 5 here. 3, 4, 5. Man, what's up with me drawing double Stake Your Soul? Man, this hand fucking sucks. Oh my god, what the fuck? This hand is not good. We drew all Earths, and we drew double Stake Your Soul. It still works, surprisingly enough, because we can go Holy Sue effect, revealing the Caesar, reveal Caesar, special itself to the field. Then go Stake Your Soul. You probably go, it doesn't really matter. Stake Your Soul, reveal Caesar, special a second Holy Sue. It's really bad, really bad. But now we can just overlay these two into Ripper. Then go Ripper effect, detaching it doesn't matter. Detach a Holy Sue. Search for Lantern. The Lantern doesn't do anything. Or Dracotail doesn't do anything because we don't have another fucking 5 in hand. Yikes, this hand is really bad. What the fuck? I guess we just search for Azuna. Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah, I think there's really nothing else I can do. Because we drew 2 Stake Your Soul again. And Afua. That's just not a correct attribute for anything, right? We can go normal, dumb. That doesn't do anything. Yeah, if we search Dracotail instead, it still doesn't do anything because we just search Azuna, but then we usually have a worthless Dracotail on field. Go Holy Sue, bounce that back. League special. Oh, that could have been the way to play it. Huh. That could have been the way to play it. So instead of making Ripper straight away, sorry, I'm going to take this back just a little bit there. Sorry, I'm still like thinking through combos here. So with 2 Holy Sues, we could have just linked, or we could have specialed Caesar, bounce back this, then link into Rock using this, then go Rock effect special Holy Sue, which sounds terrible, but it still works. So we do this, overlay into Ripper, then go Ripper, oh, not defense. Oh my god, what the fuck? Sorry. Effect detach, search for Dracotail? Does Dracotail make sense? No, it's always Azuna, right? Because Dracotail can never... because we already specialed off Rock, so that doesn't necessarily matter. Yeah. So we can play it like that, but this is just like the same infield, but with Rock. So it's pretty still bad. Damn, what the fuck? I thought I got there. No, rough hand. Alright, now on to the third and final 5-card sample hand that I want to show off here. Again, I wanted to show off that last 5-card hand because sometimes you just do draw the wrong attributes in the hand and or like draw the wrong half of stuff. Like what we had double Holy Sue, which is like, it was not the greatest hand in the world, right? It wasn't double Holy Sue. It was Stake Your Soul, Holy Sue, Caesar, Fua. It was like not the greatest hand. We still got to there. We still got to a Ripper Azuna, which does do a lot. But like, that's why I wanted to show off, because sometimes you do just draw the wrong attributes on stuff. And so that's just how the deck goes. Again, very dependent on what the 5-card hand is. So we're going to shuffle up here for our last 5-card sample hand here. Shuffle up a little bit and then draw 5 cards. 2, 3, 4, and 5. That hand's pretty fucking good. Oh my god. This hand can go second. This is one of those few hands where you can play during your opponent's turn because you have Holy Sue plus Azuna. So you can go like Holy Sue, reveal Dr. Madlove, special itself, then go Holy Sue effect, reveal Dr. Madlove and Azuna, and then just take control of a card, and then you still have Azuna to keep playing after that. So this is why the deck is like, oh, you can play on turn 0, is because if you draw the right attributes and stuff like that, you can just, play during your opponent's turn, which is very, very nice. But if we're going first with this hand is still not bad, to be honest with you. Probably this normal doctor. Yeah, probably like Azuna is a fine enough normal, but I think Dr. Madlove just does more. We don't have a fire. Oh yeah, we go this effect to search. Go ahead and get what's his name? Where the fuck is it? Where's the field spell? There it is. It's the last card in hand. We'll activate the field spell. Field spell attack, target Dr. Madlove. I guess we just get Raisin. We already have Holy Sue. We can get Jiaolong instead as well, because we're not going to normal summon again. I guess we already have another Dark, though, so we don't really have to worry about that, right? Fire Dark, okay. Yeah, I guess we'll get Raisin. Why not? And then we can go Holy Sue effect to special itself, revealing Raisin. Then go Raisin or Holy Sue effect, reveal Raisin and Lantern. Actually, it's probably better for us to get... No, it's not... I wasn't correct. Get Jiaolong. I think it's... No, because if this gets negated, you're kind of in a rough spot. It's Raisin. I'm sorry. We get special Jiaolong here. Yeah, special Jiaolong. We don't have 2 fires, unfortunately, but like nothing I can really do about that. We can go for a second Raisin, actually. Just Raisin Search, and that gets us the 2 fires by technicality. No, it's still not the greatest in the world, though. Yeah. A little bit interesting. I guess we can go for this. Again, this deck is really thought-provoking. You really have to think your plays through. We can just link this into this. Rocket the Vanquisher. Then we can just overlay these 2 for that and then play. Yeah, I like that a lot. Overlay these 2 into Ripper. And then go Ripper effect. Detaching Holy Sue is correct. And then we'll just add Jalkle because we have everything else in our hand. So get Jalkle to hand here. And then we can go Dr. Madlove, or not add back Dr. Madlove, add back Holy Sue off the Vanquisher. Then go Jalkle effect, special itself, and Azuna. Go Azuna effect to dump. We'll just dump the Lupus just to get it out of deck. Wherever Lupus is, there he is. And then go this effect to search for a non-aqua. I guess we just search Azuna because we already have Lantern in hand. So we just search this. Ooh, losing the Lantern's kind of rough, though, because we lose our Dark Axis. But we already have Rock, so I guess that's not the worst thing in the world. Overlay these 2 into... We can make a lot of rank 5s here, actually. We can go summon this. Is fine. And we still have Lantern to keep playing. We can go Lantern special. Do that, but then what is Azuna doing for us on our following turn, though? We can make just another Ripper, I guess, just for follow-up. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Lantern, target Lupus, and then just overlay these 2 into a Nash Knight, which is pretty good. So that's our end field there. So with this, we have a lot. So if we pass on... Oh, did we search a spell? Sorry, search a fucking spell. I don't know why. Search quick play off of Lantern. I kept forgetting that. Search quick play. So now we can set this off. So Lantern, search this, then overlay. End phase, draw, standby main. So you have Ripper effect. You have Book of Moon off of Sky Blaster. You have Nash Knight to Snatch Steal, or it doesn't Snatch Steal, but attach it. And we can attach 104 from the extra deck here. Overlay this into this. There, then we can go this effect, add back, we need a dark, so we need Dr. Madlove back from graveyard. And then go Holy Sue, reveal Dr. Madlove. We can go effect, reveal Fire Dark, so Dr. Madlove and Raisin to special summon another Raisin. Go Raisin effect to search for Caesar, wherever Caesar is at. I guess the zones matter, but like we were doing a lot. So where the fuck is Caesar? Caesar. Where's Caesar? Where the fuck is Caesar? There's Caesar. Okay. Get Caesar. Then go, Raisin effect, revealing a Fire and Dark. So Dr. Madlove and Raisin to pop a card in its column. Then go Caesar, add back, I guess we already have Earth and Azuna. So we can just bounce this back, special, pop a card with Fire, Earth, Dark. So what? And then we still have this to overlay and then pop a card. And then we have this effect to rip a card out of hand as well. So we had a lot of interruptions there. We had, what, 1, Ripper 1, Werewolf 2, Quick Play 3, Nash Knight 4, Book of Moon 5, Raisin 6, Caesar 7, and we still have like Azuna in hand, so if they clear our field, we can just like go Azuna into like another Ripper and like get follow-up after that as well. So a lot of stuff that deck can do. But yeah, a lot of stuff that Vanquish K9 that can do. I wanted to show off the combo there because, again, very hand dependent on the combos. Look at just the second 5-card hand combo I did. You know, we couldn't really play because we drew kind of the wrong stuff in that hand. But yeah, that is it for the K9 Vanquish deck. Now let's get into the next deck list. Alrighty, so the next deck list you might be seeing this splashed into for K9 is K9 Crystron. Yes, this is a little bit of an interesting deck that it probably will see a little bit of play when the K9 cards do come out, getting a little bit of hype around it right now as well, because it has 2 level 5s you can play off of it with Jackal. You have Sulfador and Sulfanir as well. Also, there are combos in the Crystron deck that helps you, get to Ripper, and then Ripper you can access your K9 stuff as well. Now, there is a couple problems when it comes to the Crystron stuff with the K9 stuff. Is one, you have to be careful how you play this deck, because there's a lot of the Crystron cards in the deck do lock you into machine monsters from the extra deck, so you kind of have to be careful on how you play the Crystron stuff. Now, the thing is with this one is you don't need the K9 stuff to combo. You just have a K9 stuff as like a supplemental engine with the Crystron stuff. You're still mainly prioritizing the Crystron stuff in this deck, but you also have the K9 stuff that you do have access to in the deck as well, as just like nice extenders and stuff like that as well. The level 5s in Crystron are searchable. But that is one thing you do have to worry about in this deck, is a lot of the Crystron cards in the deck itself does lock you into machine monsters, so you kind of have to play around the lock very correctly with the deck. But it's very rewarding when you do that kind of stuff as well. This is very much a combo deck in the sense that you're comboing, you're not really playing on turn 0 or anything like that, like Vanquish Soul does. This is just very much just a combo deck. You're trying to just spam out a lot of negates on your turn 1 field and making it where your opponent can't beat through your end field. But another problem with the deck as well is its extra deck is kind of tight, to be honest with you. A little tight. I really want to, it's not as tight, but you can't play like the Nash Knight and stuff like that in here. You have to kind of deal with the Vimana, which might sound a little weird because you're like, wait, doesn't Jackal and Lantern lock you into not using lights? You are correct, but Azuna and Lupus does not, so it makes it where if you need to make if you already made Sky Blaster and Ripper, you can make a Vimana with Azuna and Lupus instead of making something like Nash Knight. It's also just a level 5 machine, so something like the Crystrons can access it as well, which is very nice as well. So for the deck list itself, for K9, you're just on the small engine, so 3/3, and then one of the rest of the cards here. For Crystron, I think this is pretty much the same package. You're on 3 Sulfanir, 3 Sulfadir, 2 Tristalos, 3 Smyger, 1 Thrystervin? I'm definitely mispronouncing that one. But this is actually very important because it can search a Crystron monster, which matters for combos for the K9 stuff. And then you're playing the 1 Citri as well. You could be playing the Turtle in here as well if you want to, but I don't think you're on enough Crystron names where you don't necessarily need, the Turtle. Then 3 Inclusion in 1 Cluster. You have 13 non-engine in here as well with 3 Fua, 3 Droll, 3 Ash, 2 Nib, and 2 Ghost Bell. It could probably be, that's still pretty good. You also have to consider Azuna can also go second as well. So it's by technicality 16 non-engine slots, which is very good for you as well. But again, your main focus is the Crystron stuff, but the K9 stuff kind of helps you play with the Crystron stuff as well. And then another thing about, you could play Therion Kling plus River Stormer as well. Again, the extra deck is a little bit tight, but it is playable in the extra deck. I do want to mention that right now. The 2 combos I'm going to show you off right now could theoretically go into a River Stormer and then go into a Regulus play as well, but you don't necessarily need it, but it is, you could play. You can cut Vimana down to 1, put Regulus to 1, and then play a 42 card deck, throw 1 more just maybe non-engine, I guess, would be fine. But it's not necessary, but you could use it as well. So, and then for the extra deck, you're on 2 Vimana. Again, like I just said, you can cut this for like a River Stormer. 1 Nova and 1 Infinity. These are makeable off the Crystron stuff. So you don't have to worry about its light attribute and stuff like that. You're still playing the Ripper, Werewolf, and Sky Blaster. For Synchros, you're on 2 of the Elisgelitus. Definitely mispronouncing that as well. 2 F8 Dawn Dragster, a Samurai Destroyer. Quadrax with Citri is pretty nice as well. 1 Clockwork Knight, just in case you draw Smigger and nothing else. Or Smiger, sorry. Smiger and nothing else. You just link off into a Clockwork Knight, and then you just play from there. And then SP is just like a generic guy you can make as well in the extra deck. So that is it for the deck list itself. I know I didn't explain that much, but that's because we already explained a lot with the K9 stuff. I don't really want to go super in-depth into the Crystron stuff, because the Crystron stuff, this is more a K9 video, not just a Crystron video. So that's why I'm not explaining that much. But now let's get into the combos itself, shall we? Alrighty, now on to the combos for the K9 Crystron deck. So we're going to show off two card combos you can do with this deck. One that involves a K9 and a Crystron, and the other one will involve just Crystron cards, but it helps you get into the K9 stuff as well. And then the third thing I will do is I'll do a sample hand with the deck as well, a 5-card sample. And I won't do that many because that doesn't necessarily matter for this deck as much as it matters for the Vanquish Soul deck, but I will still show off a sample 5-card hand with this deck list as well. So this combo is going to be using Jokel and Solfador. This is probably the best 2-card combo you can open in this deck, and you'll see why in just 1 second. So we'll go standby main phase. So Solfador is a level 5, so you can just trigger Jokel's effect here, special itself, and Solfador to the field. And then Solfador effect will trigger to dump 2 Crystron cards to the grave. It does not lock you. It's the special summon effect that locks you for Solfador, so you're still chilling right now. We dumped a Smigger, and then this guy that I'm just going to mispronounce, so I'm not going to try to pronounce it. Then we can just overlay. Don't forget the trigger off of Jokel. I did forget that. Do not forget that. But you go into a Ripper effect to go ahead and search for Lantern here. And then you detach the Jokel here. Then go Lantern effect, target Jokel, special Lantern, and special Jokel. Again, I forgot Jokel, so we can trigger Jokel now to go ahead and search for Izana. Don't forget that trigger. Please do not forget that trigger. And then we go the Lantern to search for Forced Liberation from the deck as well. And then we'll just overlay into a Sky Blaster as well. But now when we're done with the K9 cards, we can now play with our Crystron cards. We'll trigger Smigger effect here to go ahead. Smiger. Oh my god. Go Smiger effect to go ahead and search for Inclusion. Activate Inclusion to go ahead and search for Tristaros. And then go ahead and do normal summon Tristaros. And then go effect of this dude to search for a Crystron monster from your deck. You'll just search for a Solfador. Solfador effect, popping the Inclusion from the field, then synchro summoning the Tristalos and Solfador to go into a Ecalitos. Go Ecalitos effect to add back Smiger from the banished area, then go Tristalos effect, popping the synchro to go ahead and special 2 Solfanirs to the field here, and then we'll just go ahead and do the synchro effect to bring back Tristalos, overlay into a Nova, and then overlay into an Infinity, and then we'll just kind of pass on that here. So we just set the quick play, pass on that. Now, you could have more if you're playing the Regulus. So instead of going into Nova and then Infinity, with the 2 Solfanirs, you can make a River Stormer effect, detaching Solfanir to go ahead and search for Regulus. Then you can go Smiger, Inclusion, bring or special back Solfador, then go Smigger, Inclusion, special back Solfador, and then since this is River Stormer, you detach Solfanir. So Solfanir, discard the Smiger, go ahead and special out the Solfanir, and then destroy a card. You just destroy the Solfanir. Solfanir effect will bring out another Solfador from deck there. That's 2 5s because you would have 2 Solfadors. Then you can make a Nova, then an Infinity on that. Then go Regulus effect, special itself by equipping probably Ikalos is probably fine because it's a machine. Special that to the field, and then you would have you would have Infinity, Regulus, Ripper, Sky Blaster, Tristalos, plus the Liberation with still Izana in hand as well. So that's another way you can do this, but since we're not playing the Regulus in the deck, this is still pretty much still a fine enough end field as well. So draw standby main, we still have a Tristalos effect to go ahead and special Solfanir from the deck, and then synchro summon into a F8 Dawn Dragster. F8 Dawn Dragster is a spell trap negate. Infinity is a Omni negate. Ripper can still negate a card from hand or graveyard. Then Sky Blaster can still book a Muna card. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 interruptions. Then you have the quick play spell to make the Wolf, which makes it 5 interruptions because this destroys a card. Then Wolf effect to go ahead and rip a card out of hand, which would be 6. And then you still have a Zana effect as well, so you can go with Zana, special itself, and then dumping Lupus from the deck, then go Lupus effect, special itself to the field, Lupus effect to overlay. Now you're not locked into lights here with these two, so now you can just make a Chronomaly Vimana in the extra deck. I'm just making sure I'm reading cards correctly. Yes, that doesn't lock you, and yeah, that doesn't lock you either. So you can make a Vimana off of this as well, which is just a monster negate by detaching 2 cards from that. So what was that? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 interruptions off of just a 2-card hand. You technically have follow-up with this Smyger as well, which is pretty nice as well. So that was that 2-card combo. Now let's get into the other 2-card combo. Alrighty, so this 2-card combo is going to involve 2 Crystron cards. So this is basically making it where you can, just with the Crystron cards, still access the K9 engine, right? So in this situation, you do have to draw inclusion no matter what. This Crystron could be any Crystron you want it to be. You just need a Crystron to discard for Sulfonier's effect, but you do have to draw inclusion to do this combo. Like, the inclusion is a mandatory thing you have to draw. This can just be any Crystron card, to be honest with you. I just made it Citry, just made it the worst one to discard for the effect. If you draw Sulfonier, if this is Sulfonier, then you just go inclusion, search for another Crystron card. So we can go inclusion effect, search Sulfonier, which is the important part. So if you already have Sulfonier, you can just search for like Smyger and then just go Sulfonier, discard Smyger instead. But now since we have Sulfonier, we go Sulfonier effect, discarding the Citry, special itself, and then pop itself as well. Then effect in graveyard to go ahead and special back Sulfonier. Now, the important part about Sulfonier is it does not lock you into machines, which is very important. Now we can go Sulfonier effect, dumping 2. This effect does not lock you, which is very important. Now we can go the effect of this 2 to go ahead. We dump this dude and inclusion, by the way. That's important. To go ahead and search for Tristaros. And then we can go normal summon Tristaros, then effect of inclusion to reborn the Sulfonier. We're not locked into machines everywhere because this doesn't even lock you into machines. That's only the top effect that locks you into machines. If I'm not mistaken, you can, yeah, only the top effect locks you. The bottom effect does not lock you. So that's a very important part. So now you have 2 level 5s. Now you can just overlay into Ripper. We go Ripper effect to go and detach Sulfador and search for Azana. Now, I will come back to this. This doesn't necessarily have to be Azana. We'll come back to that combo once we get there, though. Now we can go Sulfador effect since we haven't triggered it, popping the inclusion, special summoning itself back to the field here. Now we are locked into machines from the extra deck, so we'll now go into a synchro summon of Excelitus effect. I'm definitely mispronouncing that, by the way, to add back Sulfador from the graveyard, and then go Tristaros effect, popping this guy, sorry, fuck, I'm not mispronouncing that, just selling out 2 Sulfadors from the deck, and then the Synchro effect will go ahead and just re-special back the Tristaros. Then we can just overlay these 2 into a Nova, into Infinity in the extra monster zone. Now, technically, this would be the end phase. Sorry, I'm looking in the graveyard. End phase, but if we searched Jokel instead, this matters if you're playing Regulus. So if you're playing Regulus, you can search Jokel instead, then go Jokel effect, special back Sulfador, because you're only locked for machines from the extra deck. That matters. So you special back Jokel and Sulfador. You go Jokel effect, searching Izana, then overlay Sulfador and Jokel into the River Stormer effect, detaching probably to Sulfador to go ahead and search for Regulus effect, attaching to Sulfador, and then now you would have a Regulus on top with the Izana as well, which is very good. So, like, if you're playing Regulus, you would just have a Regulus on field. You would also have a River Storm, which isn't important because River Storm doesn't do anything by itself, but you would have a Regulus as well, which is important for this combo because we couldn't get to the quick play spell, so we have less interruptions. But with this, we have the Tristalos to go ahead and special summon a Sulfador and then synchro off into a FA Dawn Dragster, which is a spell negate. Then you have Infinity as an Omni negate. Then you still have Ripper to negate a card from hand or graveyard. And then you have the Azuna effect. Azuna effect, discarding Lupus. Lupus effect, special itself. You've seen this already. Effect to overlay into a Sky Blaster, since we haven't made Sky Blaster. This can also be via mana. This can also be, whatever rank 5 you want it to be. Sky Blaster effect to, book a Moon card. And that's it for that. But again, if you played Regulus, you can also have a Regulus on field as well, which is very important to note. So that is it for the 2-card combos. Now let's get into a sample 5-card hand. Alrighty, now on to the 5-card sample hand with Crystron. Now, I'm only going to do one 5-card sample hand because I think it matters way less in this deck than it does with something like Vanquish Soul, because Vanquish Soul is more of a hand-dependent deck, while Crystron, if you just draw the combo pieces, you're chilling anyways. So we're only going to do the one 5-card sample hand. But yeah, let's actually get into it. So we're going to give the deck a quick little shuffle here. Shuffle it a couple times, and we'll draw our 5 cards. Okay, Case of the Canine, Sulfador, oh my god, this is already an insane hand. Ashnib, wild. Holy shit. Standby main, we'll activate Case of the Canine to go ahead and search. We will search for the Dracotail. Okay, that's insane. Now we just do this combo. Special Dracotail and Sulfador using Jokel's effect. Then we go Sulfador effect to go ahead and dump. We already have Sulfenir. How am I going to do this? We can dump this, and Smyger is probably fine. Yeah, that's fine. Overlay or dump those two. We can dump the trap instead of this. No, I guess we can't. And then we can just, we go effects. Not forget that. Let's not forget that. Go effective that. Go ahead and search for Izana. And then we'll overlay these two into a Ripper. Go Ripper effect here to go ahead, detach, searching Lantern. There's Lantern, cool. And then go Lantern effect to special itself, specialing this, and Jokel to the hand. From the graveyard, sorry. And then Lantern effect to go ahead and search for the Quick Play spell. There's the Quick Play spell. And then we'll go overlay these two into a Sky Blaster. Okay, now we can go Canine combo. Or not, we already went Canine combo. We can now go Crystron Combo. Oh my god, this is going to be fucking insane. Now we're going to do this effect. Banish, searching for Inclusion. Oh, don't put it in graveyard, add it to hand. So this is the same combo as combo number 1, or just that's how the hand went, was pretty nice. Go Inclusion, searching for Tristalos. We'll just normal summon Tristalos. I'm just kind of skipping ahead. I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible. Effect of this. Searching for this dude. There he is. Add this dude to hand, and we'll just special him to the field. So now we're locked into machine monsters, destroying that, and then we can synchro summon into this dude. Go effect to just add back Smyger, which is fine. Then go Tristalos effect, destroying the synchro. Special to Sulfonirs to the field. And then effect of effect of the synchro, summon out Tristalos, then overlay these two into Nova and Infinity, which is pretty good. Now we can still play because we have Sulfenir, so now we can go, because we haven't done an inclusion, effect, special, this, then go Sulfenir, effect, discarding the Smyger, or special, and we have to destroy a card. Oh, we can just destroy this Case of the Canine. That's actually not bad because we can keep names in deck. Yeah, I'm actually in favor for that. So we destroy that. It's any card, right? Yeah, so cool. Overlay these two into this dude. Oh my god, wild ass hand. So now we can just set this and we pass on that, and we have so much stuff. So we have Tristalos, which just summons out the... Do I have any other 5? Oh, I went through all my 5s, which kind of is unfortunate. But we just synchro this and this into FA Dawn Dragster. Dawn Dragster to Spell Trap negate. We have this to Book of Moon, a card. We'll detach that. We have Nova to negate Omni negate. We have Ripper to negate a card from hand or field. We have a monster negate off of this. We have Liberation, get Wolf onto the field, and we destroy a card, and then we can go Wolf effect to rip a card as well. If they get rid of a card, we still have a Zuna to special out Lupus, which gets us into another Viamana, because this is a soft once per turn, which is fucking wild. So you can do multiple effects of those, which is kind of insane. That was insane. We still had Ash and Nib on top of everything as well, which is insane, and we still have like Sulfadors and stuff like that to play on our next turn as well. That was a very insane combo. So that was it for the 5-card sample hand. Now let's get into our last deck list we're going to be talking about today. And the last deck list we'll be talking about today in this video is going to be K9 Dracotail. So Dracotail is also going to be coming out in the same set K9 is coming out in Justice Hunters. So what's the idea with this deck? So it's the same idea. This Dracotail has a level 5, so it plays with like Yugioh and stuff like that. It's searchable through multiple means with the Dragontail, Q2 Dragontail, and Q2 Dragontail is like searchable through any of these if they're used by any of the fusions, or if they're used as fusion material, which is pretty nice. So that's the idea there, is that you have level 5s you can play with. But there's a problem with the deck, is that this doesn't access this, and this does not access this. So the K9 stuff cannot access the Dracotail stuff by itself, and the Dracotail stuff cannot access the K9 stuff by itself. But it's kind of one of those decks in combination together. They're really, really, really good, because if you end up drawing like a Yugioh and a Femina together, you get to set up both end fields, which are very, very, very broken. It's also one of those things, both of their engines can break through a lot by themselves, which is pretty nice as well. And like Azuna is a hand trap by itself, and Femina is a turn 0 play as well, because during the main phase you can just discard this card to fusion summon a dragon or spellcaster monster from your extra deck. So it's just a free fusion summon. So it's kind of the same idea as Azuna, as you get to play turn 0 with them as well. It has less synergies compared to Vanquish Soul, but it does still have very much potential. So that's the reason why I'm showing off this deck list today. But the combo is going to be a little weird with this one. I'm not going to be able to show off like 2 to 3 card combo kind of things. I'm just going to do the same thing like I did with Vanquish Soul, is just do 3 5-card sample hands, because again, like I said, they really don't like get to each other, but if you draw them in right sequences, so if you draw this and like Yugioh together, then it becomes very insane, and they can both play together as well, because by technicality, the Dragontails can just use the K9s as fusion materials as well, which is pretty nice as well. So same thing with the deck list. We're on the very small Draco, or the K9 stuff, throw 3 Azuna, 3 Yugioh, and then 1 of everything else. The Dracotail, again, I'm not going to go too much into this, because I'll probably make another video talking about Dracotail in the future, probably within like the next week or so, so don't worry about that. So we can play, we're playing 3 Molier, 3 Lucius, 3 Femina, and then 1 of the big guys, 1 Urgula, and 1 Pan as well. Then we're on 3 of the Q2 Dragontail, 3 Ruha Dragontail, which is the branded fusion for the archetype, which is very insane. This is the Searcher in the archetype, and if you're going second, if they have a monster on the field, you can fusion summon afterwards, which is pretty nice. And then you're playing 1 of each Trap, 1 Tail, 1 Horn, which, this can return an attack position monster, then draw a card, and this can negate a face-up spell and then draw a card as well. And then we're on 13 non-engine as well. You probably want to play Valor in this, just because Valor can help you access this as well, and like Droll and Lockbird as well. But again, these are just 13 non-engines, whatever you want it to be worked as well. Now for the extra deck itself, I'm more focused on the K9 in the extra deck. When you play this deck, you're probably wanting to play more fusions in this than XYZs, but since this is a K9 video, I'm more going to focus on the XYZs as the extra deck. But again, you can maybe cut down a little bit of the XYZs and put a little bit more fusions if you want to as well. But we're on 2 of each Dragontail name. We're on the Secret Trun Dragon, and then we're on 1 Ripper. Probably should be 2, to be honest with you. 1 Werewolf, 1 Sky Blaster, 1 Nash Knight with the CXYZ Nash Knight, and then Nash Knight, then 104 Masquerade, and then the Umbral Horde, and Zeus, Seals, and Spirit of Eyes of Blue, which is actually accessible through the Dragontail stuff as well. So enough talking about the deck list. Again, I didn't really want to explain that much. We already talked a bunch about K9, and if you want to know more about Dracotail, I'll probably make another video within the next week talking about that as well. So without further ado, let's get into the 5-card sample hands. Alrighty, now we're going to go to the first 5-card sample hand. Again, we're going to do 3 of them, but this is going to be the first one of it. So we're going to shuffle the deck a little bit, and then we'll draw a sample 5-card hand here. So we'll draw 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we can't access the K9 stuff with this combo. We can only do the Dracotail stuff with this, unfortunately. Can I do anything else? No, we just have to save Azuna as a hand trap, basically. Can we get Femina on the field somehow? No, we can't. Okay, we'll just do the Dragontail to fusion summon. We'll fuse off Femina and probably the Urgula as well here. And then we'll go into a... Probably this is probably fine. And then we'll go Chain Link 1, targeting both our guys, and then Chainlink 2, Chainlink 3, because they're all used as fusion material. So Chainlink 1 will just add both of these back to hand. I probably don't want to have both of them back to hand, but this is probably fine. And then we can go set both a couple spell traps. We'll set the tail, and we will set the spell one. I always like to set the spell one first here. So we set the spell here. We're in main phase, by the way. Then we can go the tail effect to search here to go ahead and add back. Add pan, most likely, is probably fine. Yeah, pan is probably fine. Is it? Yeah, pan is fine. We'll search pan out here. We haven't normal summoned by technicality. We could just normal summon and then do it. Yeah, no, actually, no, we're locked into fusion because of, we started with this. So, yeah, we're locked into fusion, so that doesn't matter. I was going to try to do a Seals Blade, but that doesn't matter. Then we can go this effect to fusion summon. We'll fusion this Urgula and this as a Dracotail to go ahead and special out Grimmel. Then we'll go, we don't trigger anything because we didn't fuse with this. And then we can go this effect, bottom deck this to add this back to hand here. Yeah, we'll just do it like that. Oh, we actually could have played this better. Actually, instead of doing this, I actually do like the normal summon play. So instead of this, so we have this back. And sorry, I'm going back. I'm just like, I'm trying to play it correctly just so you guys can go back. I also like to keep this in just so, you know, you're going through the thought process with me. So off the tail, I do want to search Lucas and then normal summon Lucas, search Pan. That works for me. And then go Femina effect. We'll fusion off this and Urgula to go ahead and special out the Gremel there. And then go effect of Lucas to set the other trap card just to make sure we have both trap cards in a rotation there. And then we do the Urgula effect, bottom decking itself, adding back the Femina, which is really cool. Okay, and that is our end field. So we have the Atheron and the Gremel. The Atheron doesn't do anything on field, but the Gremel will do stuff when we ever activate a Dracotail stuff. We can just pop a card. So standby main, we still have, so we can go, let's say they activate some sort of spell. We can go this effect and then chain this to pop a card. And then this we can bottom deck. We'll probably put back tail to the bottom and then draw a card. We drew Ghost Bell. We have Ghost Bell, Ash, which is good for us. We also have Azuna if they ever activate something in hand. So we can do this, dumping Lupus, and then Lupus effect to go ahead and special itself to the field here. And then we'll do Lupus effect overlaying. I like to do Ripper here just so we can get like follow-up play with this. Go into Ripper. And then go Ripper effect detaching Lupus to negate whatever, right? And then we can still do this effect using Pan. Ghost Bell is probably because that's our second Ghost Bell. So, and this to go ahead and summon out another Atheron. And in attack position is fine. Then we can go Chainlink 1 Atheron, Chainlink 2 Pan. This will just set our follow-up. I guess we can just set Dracotail is probably fine. The Ruha Dracotail. And then we get to bounce 2 cards because we use 2 cards in hand. And this also pops a monster since it was used as fusion material. We set and then pop a card as well. So that was actually pretty good. This was basically all Dracotail stuff, and then we just used Azuna as like a hand trap. Still not bad. That's kind of just the idea, is they don't necessarily access each other, but they can complement each other pretty well. So that was it for that 5-card sample hand. Now let's get into the next 5-card sample hand. Now on to the second 5-card combo hand I'm going to be showing off here. So the first one we showed off kind of just played with the Dracotail stuff and used Azuna as a hand trap, which is fine. You can still very much do that. But hopefully in the second and third combo I'll show off like you can play both K9 and Dracotail together. You do have to kind of draw the correct cards to do so, but you can do it. So I'm going to shuffle this up a little bit here before we draw the cards, and we'll draw now. Draw 1, draw 2. Well, those are the best 2 cards to draw straight away. Oh my god, okay, draw 5. And we drew Azuna. That's insane. Okay, so this is kind of an insane-ass hand. So, standby main. So, the good thing about Jokel is you can just immediately just special this. Or not special, you don't have to... with this and this, because it is a 5 together. Then you can go this effect. We already have Azuna, so we can just search Jackal, or Lantern, sorry, to search. And then overlay these 2 into a Ripper. Go Ripper effect, detaching... Ooh. Oh, I really want to detach this. I'm not going to lie with you. Is there a way I can get back to stuff? I have it normal, so we can just do that. Yeah, actually, yes. Detach, or yeah, we detach that. Getting Azuna, or just another Azuna is fine, wherever Azuna is at. I know there's another Azuna in here. Okay. Now we can just normal summon Azuna. Go Azuna effect dumping Lupus. Again, they should have a 5-card hand. We have a normal summon, so dumping Lupus, wherever Lupus is, there is a Lupus. We can now go Lantern effect special itself and the Lupus to the field. Then go effect of Lantern to go ahead and search a spell trap, which will search Deliberation. And now we can go... We can overlay these two, yes. We'll overlay these two into the Sky Blaster. And now we can go... This summons that. Yep, now we can play with this. Now we can go Dracotail. We use the Azuna in hand. And we have it somewhere in here. There he is. The Urkula... Is Urkula correct? We already normaled... We'll dump Urkula. It's fine. Urkula to go ahead and special out Atheron. And then go... We'll probably put this in the extra monster zone, to be honest with you. Go Atheron effect. Chainlink 1, Urkula, Chainlink 2 to set a spell trap. Spell trap will be Tail. And then this we'll just add back. We only use the one, so we'll just add probably this to hand. No. We'll add the Azuna back to hand, because this can add anything back to hand, which is nice. Then we can go Tail to go ahead and add something else. We'll just add Pan to hand, which is probably fine. And then we can go bottom deck this to add this back to hand. And then we can go fuse that. We don't get a way to fusion summon during our turn, though, which is probably a problem. On their turn, sorry. This, fuse this, and that. Dragon Spellcaster. This is the warrior, right? This is a warrior. Yeah, that doesn't work. Fuck. Oh, no, we're locked into fusions, right? Yeah, we're locked into fusion. I was like, oh, wait, I can bring back a 5. That would be cool, but actually, no. Don't want to do that. I think I just kind of want to pass on this, to be surprisingly enough. We just set this and pass, because I'd much rather have this than the spell negate, because the pan is an interruption as well. So what we can do with this, so we end phase pass. So this can go effect detaching the Lupus, which is very good. If we can detach Lupus. To book a Moon card, we have Ripper to negate a card in a hand or field, or a hand or graveyard. Then we have the quick play to overlay Wolf and then pop a card, and this can rip a card as well. Then if they ever interact for something in hand, we can just special back the Lupus and then go Lupus effect, overlaying the Azuna that we kept on field to go ahead and make a Nash Knight. Then go Nash Knight effect to detach 2 to go ahead and attach attach the 101 and then attach one of their monsters on their field. Oh, don't move. Oh, everything's lagging. Oh, there we go. Move these two. And then we can go now do this effect to fusion summon. Then we can use this, and this to go ahead and summon out another Dracotail Atheron. And then go Atheron, which was a pop 2 because we used 2 cards in hand. Then Pan 2 to go ahead and set a card as well. And it also pops a monster on field because that's just a part of its effect, which is really dumb. We can just set follow-up, which is probably just Tail, to be honest with you, which is really good for us as well. And we still have Ash Blossom in hand as well. Still a lot of interaction pieces there. I had to kind of think it through. I do apologize about that. But that was that 2-card hand, how K9 and Dracotail can kind of play together. We didn't get to any of the Draco spell traps or the trap cards, unfortunately, but it was still perfectly enough, good enough field for us to end on as well. So that was it for that. Now let's get into our last combo. Alrighty, now on to the final 5-card sample hand for today's video here. So we're going to shuffle up a little bit here and then draw a sample 5-card hand here. Alright, give it a couple shuffles. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. That's not a bad hand, I'm not going to lie with you. We can go Case of the Canine here. Go ahead and search for, we drew 2 bricks, but it actually worked, so we still drew combo. Search for just another 5, to be honest with you, is not bad. To search, we're only on 1 Jackal, so we can't search Jackal. I guess we just search Azuna, is probably fine. And then go Jackal effect, special itself, and Azuna. Go Azuna effect to dump Lupus, and then we can go effect of Jokel to go ahead and search for Lantern, wherever the Lantern is at. And then we can overlay these two into a... Where is it? Ripper, there he is. Sorry, I'm a little tired. I've been doing this recording for a while now. So we go Ripper effect, detaching Jokel is fine. And go ahead and search ourselves it's probably just another Azuna, to be honest with you. It's perfectly fine with us. And then go Lantern effects, targeting Jokel to special itself to the field there. And then go Lantern effect to search for the spell card, which is going to be X. Alrighty, and then we'll overlay these two into a Photon Sky Blaster. Alright, now that the K9 is done, now we can go Dracotail stuff. We'll use Fua, and just a card from deck is fine. Probably just this, to be honest with you, is probably fine with us. Special out Atheron. Is Atheron correct? Yeah, Atheron's correct. Sorry, I don't know why I was thinking about that. We go Atheron 1, targeting Fema 2 to set a spell trap. Thinking on what to set for the spell trap, actually. We can just add this to hand. We don't have another one of that in hand. Or Dracotail in hand, so I can't really search that. So I think I have to set Tail here. Just so we can get a monster in hand. So we can just activate Tail. Searching... we'll search for Pan, because Pan is an interruption as well. Alright, and then we just kind of pass on that. We set the Flame, we set the X, and we just pass on that. So this is pretty much a simplified Enfield, but it's still very, very insane. So we pass on this. Draw, standby main. So we have effect to book a Moon card. We can just discard Jackal. We have Ripper to negate. We have still the K9 to rip a card, or well, destroy a card on the special of Wolf. And then Wolf effect can rip a card. And then we can do Azuna's effect here to special itself. And then Jackal's effect is already in graveyard to special itself back to the field. And then overlay these two into a Nashonite. Go Nashonite effect, detaching these two to go ahead and do 104, to attach 104 and then attach one of their monsters as material, which is nice as well. Now we can play with the Dracotail stuff. If we need to negate a spell, we can. Bottom deck, probably this one because it's good, and then draw a card. Okay, I bottom decked it. I know I bottom decked it. Let me, that's Watcher's Log. Return to the bottom of the deck. So it was just one in the top, one in the bottom. Okay, so that's cool. And then we can go this effect. Oh, sorry, this is engraved. To fusion summon, we can just use this and Pan to go ahead and search or special out another Atheron. Go Atheron 1, we use one card in hand to bounce a card, and then Chainlink 2 Pan, which can set and then destroy a card, which is really good. It destroys a monster, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it destroys a monster. But we get to set, we can just set the Dracotail. The K2 Dracotail, sorry. And then that's it. I mean, that's still a lot of interruptions, plus we have like guaranteed follow-up, which is pretty nice as well. So yeah, that is it for the entire video. It took me a long time to do this. It was daytime when I started recording this, and now it's nighttime, which is very unfortunate. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content on the channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.